Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are on this surreally fast forward planet spinning with a pandemic wrapped around it, with stress all around, with complexity and uncertainty, especially ahead of the election in the United States. There was no uncertainty in New Zealand. It's funny this week when the there was a re-election of the Labour Party with a spectacular success on stemming the pandemic. Of course, New Zealand is an island. Lots of reasons why it's easier to do that than in a country of 50 states with such variegated circumstances as we have in the United States. But it shows what's possible. People come together and act together and a common interest, and also sustaining their individualism at the same time. It's not that hard to wear a mask and to stay clear of people and to heed basic public health warnings. But that's what we're not going to do this morning. Today, again, is the Sunday Arts and Hearts episode of Sustain What, which is our great gathering every weekend, every Sunday, trying to kind of bring together people to boost spirits and create a sense of community through music, especially, and the arts, poetry, and the like. Got some great friends gathering in the studio here. And I'm just going to show you a little video to get things inspired. Tom Chapin should be coming on a second, Andy Chaikin, Karen Brooks from the Trouble Sisters, Patrick Jones, and more. But let's start with a little music. I can't resist. It is a very fine line between what happens and doesn't happen in the next few weeks. And so here goes. It's a very Whoops. Maybe that won't work. We were trying. Here we go. Line between winning there we go. Losing. Good morning, everybody. A very fine line between living and dying. A very fine line between loving and leaving. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. Well, 5 out of 6 lotto numbers will win you a dime.
Very, very appreciated.
That driver ahead is a nut, you may soon be flying.
Yeah.
Your girl's out the door if you say right things at the wrong time. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. It's a very fine line that you've got to walk. Gotta watch every word when you make small talk. Gotta watch every step or you'll find yourself crazy and crying. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. It's a very fine line that you've got to walk. Gotta watch every word when you make small talk. Gotta watch every step or you'll find yourself crazy and crying. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. A very fine line. It's a very fine line between loony and sane. A very fine line between a loss and a gain. A very fine line between pleasure and pain. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. Well, people you think are a genius are this far from bent. President loses an election by 0.5%. We all know love hurts, but we try it again and again. We know that the line between love and despair is so thin. It's a very fine line that you got to walk. Gotta watch every word when you make small talk. Gotta watch every step or you'll find yourself crazy and crying. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. It's a very fine line that you got to walk. Gotta watch every word when you make small talk. Gotta watch every step or you'll find yourself crazy and crying. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. A very fine line. What the fuck? A very fine line. Winning and losing. Very fine line. Living and dying. Very fine line. loving and leaving, loony and sane, loss and a gain, pleasure and pain. It's a very fine line that you got to walk. Gotta watch every word when you make small talk. Gotta watch every step or you'll find yourself crazy and cry. Most of your life is spent walking a very fine line. 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 Well, it is a very fine line. Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing, my good friends? I see Donna Nestler, and is that Elliot on the boat? Let me unmute you.
Songwriting is...
And let's see who else is here. We've got Patrick Jones in Beacon, New York, growing a beard. Hope your tooth's doing all right, Patrick. I think you're muted. And we have Karen Brooks and Susan.
Good morning.
In Heath, Massachusetts. Tom Chapin's coming on. He's got some issue with the link. Hopefully he'll be on in a minute. And Andy Chaikin, an old friend of mine from college, best known for his epic history of the Apollo program and work he's done. He 10-part series on HBO, but he's also a really fine musician. He'll be on here in a bit. But let's go to Karen Brooks and Susan Brooks Brody in Massachusetts and see how you're doing today.
Hey, it's pretty nice. Yesterday, Susan was down here and her daughter FaceTimed from Bethlehem, New Hampshire, where she lives up in the White Mountains, and there was about 8 inches of snow.
Wow.
Lovely.
So I'm glad she came down here where it's still fall.
Definitely. I can't handle it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So
And
this
then,
song I wrote, it's about this time of year. It's kind of appropriate. I stood on the edge of the ocean. I stood on the edge of the sea. I stood in the arms of my own true love. He looked a lot like me. And I said, let's go, let's go, let's go. I said it 10 times more. Where the wind and the rain and the ice and snow don't blow in my own front door. We walk through emerald forest. We walk through purple haze. We walk through fields of golden grain. We walk for days and days. And I said, let's go, let's go, let's go. I said it 10 times more. Where the wind and the rain and the ice and snow don't blow in your own front door. We talk about tomorrow, talk about yesterday. We talk of a world where people know the line between love and hate. And I said, let's go, let's go, let's go. I said it 10 times more. Where the wind and the rain and the ice and snow don't blow in my own front door. There is a fountain, there is a stream, there is let's go, let's go, let's go. I said it 10 times more. Where the wind and the rain and the ice and snow don't blow in my own front door. Thanks, Sue.
That is beautiful.
Thank
What a
you.
beautiful way to start this Sunday
Thank
session
you.
of our Sustain What webcast. So, did you guys perform ever together, or were you?
When we were
you-
younger.
When we were younger, we have 2 other sisters and our mom, we all sang together, but I dragged Susan up on stage a few times. I did a CD release concert locally, and I was like, well, it's too far to get anybody up here. So I made her come up and sing with me. She always hates it when I drag her on.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm persuasive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to send a hello, the good morning to Tom Chapin, who's
Oh,
just
hey.
joined us.
Hey,
From-
Tom. nice
Good
to
morning.
see you.
Sounded great.
Oh,
Oh,
thanks.
thank you.
I'll
And
mute so I don't feedback. Okay.
yeah,
Say
you
that.
just unmute when you want to chat, Karen. Just come into the conversation as you like. And we have Donna Nestler on her boat, or is that Elliot's boat? Donna. Okay, down in Mamaroneck.
Hi,
Donna.
Donna.
Wow.
Donna's a longtime Clearwater stalwart, and with her husband Rick, and down on the boat, which I wish I wish I could be there too. And Tom Chapin, it's great to have you with us for the first time on this show.
Thank you. It's lovely being here. Appreciate it.
How's things with your family? I know you've had quite a conclave there in recent months.
Well, both sisters are. We're quarantining, luckily, with my daughters in 2 houses here in Rockland County.
Yeah.
And they have 4-year-olds who are little girls who are 5 months apart. So it's been the best of all worlds for us grandparents and for them, because. And when we first started, Abigail came up from and her husband and her 4-year-old daughter Elspeth came up from Brooklyn and said, all my friends are really worried about this quarantining with their kids and how to do that. You know what we should do? I said, what? She said, you got 13 family albums. Why don't we just do family songs in the morning for free? So we've been streaming Papa Tom Chapin and the Chapin Sisters.
Love that.
Every school day at 11 o'clock, just for free. And donations are accepted, of course, which trickle in. But we've done 124 shows. It used to be 5 days a week, and now it's 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And it's been magical, So, people like me who have spent their lives on the road and performing weekends, and as Abigail said, it keeps Dad out of trouble.
I know. So many of the musicians I've had on here have had basically built their lives in transit, moving around and playing for people face to face, and it's such an adjustment. But it's great to hear you found a path. I'm going to show your website. TomChapin.com is one way to find you.
And if you want to see the shows, the easiest way is go to tomchapin.tv. It's on Facebook and on Facebook and on Instagram. And they're also all been cataloged. Claudia at my office has cataloged them all on YouTube. So if you want to see 124 shows, you can find them.
That's just
right there. And every once in a while, the 4-year-olds come in and be silly, and they wander in and out. It's from home, So it's a family affair.
That's just great. Is there a song on your mind or on your heart this morning that you wanted to start out by sharing with us?
You know what? Let me pick up an auto harp here.
Oh, great. Oh man, I can't see that without thinking about our dear departed friend Dan Einbender, who was our auto harpist in Breakneck Ridge Review. Fantastic.
I'm gonna take my earphones off because I'm banging on
Sure.
the auto harp. So I'm hoping it all works. Here we go. Come in, the door is open. You are welcome here. Come When the door is open, leave out all doubt and fear. We'll plant a seed together, and together watch it grow, and learn once more what we already know. Lift up your voice, rejoice in what we've found. Let every heart take refuge in the sound. Feel the walls around us tremble, we will surely bring them down, and find ourselves on common ground. Find ourselves on common ground. This is how we celebrate our song and dance and art. This is how we touch the future, how we touch your heart. Tell your story to a child and they'll take it as their own. This is how we learn we're not alone. Lift up your voice, rejoice in what we found. Let every heart take refuge in the sound. Feel the walls around us tremble, we will surely bring them down, and find ourselves on common ground. Find ourselves on common ground. I haven't played this in a while. In our time together, I begin to understand there are bridges we can only cross together, hand in hand. Soon we'll head on homeward, we'll go our separate ways, but these echoes will be dancing down our days. Lift up your voice, rejoice in what we found. Let every heart take refuge in the sound. Feel the walls around us tremble, we will surely bring them down, and find ourselves on common ground. Find ourselves on common ground. Oh, I put my earphones on so I can hear you.
Oh my God.
That was great. It was beautiful.
Really
That was
nice.
spectacular.
Really.
That was
I
spectacular.
wrote that with
And,
Scott
this was-
Ainsley, a great blues guy, friend and a friend. I've known him since 1981 when he was in a show of my brother Harry's called Cotton Patch Gospel. We met way back when. And I was down at Common Ground on the Hill, which is Walt Michaels' Wonderful Thing Happens in every summer, kind of a acoustic camp, and I went down there one summer and I said, it was called Common Ground on the Hill. And I said, boy, is there a camp song? And Scott says, I don't think so. I said, well, Common Ground, what a wonderful resonant little phrase that is, 2 words. So I was there for a week taking courses and stuff, and Scott and I just, when we saw each other during the day, he was teaching and I was just being a camper, and we wrote that song for him.
A comment just came in from Facebook from Deb Rathman saying, I saw Tom at Common Ground in Maryland a couple of times and it was great. She says, good morning. And she says, love the auto harp. And by the way, the sonority of that auto harp, when you put it down, it was still thrumming.
This is made by Tom Fladmark in Pennsylvania for me. And yeah, it's you take 37 strings and a box that rings and you tune for the rest of your life. Say hello to your new best friend. Say goodbye to your wife.
So is that a song of yours too?
Yeah, it's a song of John McCutcheon and I wrote a song about.
McCutcheon is amazing.
I'm an auto harpaholic. I'm in a 12-zone program. A 12 chord. I'm in a 12 chord program.
Could you do even like a minute of that, or like a little chunk of it?
I'm in a 12 chord program. Maybe it's in here. Let's see. There was a gentleman whose name I've forgotten now. This is 15 years ago. With Brian Bowers, they put together all these auto harp players, and they did an album, a three CD album called Legacy, which you can find someplace, of all the best auto harp players. There are people doing, jigs on the auto harp,
Wow.
And they asked me to come, and John McCutcheon, we both were there, and we were sitting there, and and it was a 2-day event, and you're sort of sitting in the outskirts, and people in the studio doing a song. And so I said, John, we ought to write a song. So we wrote to say take 37 strings and box that rings and tune for the rest of your life. Say hello to your new best friend. Say goodbye to your wife. I'm in a 12-chord program. I'll last my whole life long. I'm an auto harpaholic, and this is my sad song. Hi, I'm Tom. Hi, Tom. I'm an auto harpaholic. It was silly.
That reminds me of John, the late departed John Prine's song. Put my socks in a cedar box, just get them out of here. Hand me down my walking cane. It was about cut me up. Please don't bury me down in that cold ground. I'd rather have you cut me up and pass me all around. Throw my brain in a hurricane, and the blind can have my eyes. The deaf can take both of my ears if they don't mind the size.
Oh man. John Prine, how great is it? Oh yeah,
we miss him. We all miss him. So that's great. Hey, Karen and Susan, what's another song that comes to mind? I know you're not an auto harpaholic, but I mean you are in terms of. We played so much with Dan Einbender. I mean, my God.
I know. I wish Susan knew his song "Dinner Alone Is a Bore," but one we can do is that song of mine, that motorcycle song. It's one she knows. So
yeah,
stick
sure.
with the repertoire,
Right.
Did you ever ride on a motorcycle up in the wind with your hair flying loose? Did you ever ride with the sun on your shoulder out on the mesa with all your goals? I believe I've been raised by the sun, and I believe I was taught by the wind. They gave me their secrets while my wheels were spinning. I'm gonna ride until they call me in. Did you ever ride on a motorcycle out on the wind with your hair flying loose? Did you ever ride with the sun on your shoulder out on the mesa with all your goals? Sometimes I ride to the top of the mountain, up where the eagle flies high in a nest, watches the sunset explodes like a fountain, warmed by the rocks as I take my rest. Did you ever ride on a motorcycle out on the wind with your hair flying loose? Did you ever ride with the sun on your shoulder out on the mesa with all your gold.
Here's the really long break, which is short. The band's supposed to play.
Sometimes at night when the moon is shining, out on the mesa where the wind is still, out from the shadows I can see Coyote sings out a song for the ghosts on the hill. Did you ever ride on a motorcycle out on the wind with your hair flying loose? Did you ever ride with the sun on your shoulder out on the mesa with all your goals? Out on the mesa with all your goals. Out on the mesa with all your goals. Thanks, Sue.
Sweet, very sweet. And I wish we could get the band together, and there we go.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful.
Nice.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Nice.
Cool.
Totally great.
Yay.
Yes. Someday the
Tom-
technology will be good enough that we can do that.
Yeah.
Tom, a bunch of folks from the Andy's band have been on the show, and we all sit muting ourselves, playing along. When
Yes,
everyone does one of the songs.
exactly. I wasn't sure if I had to mute or not, so I didn't play along. But.
Okay,
Wow.
I'm going to mute again, just
So
so
this-
we don't get feedback.
And I'm going to bring in a couple of people who are in the green room for the next round. But Tom, I'd love to hear one more from you too, if you can. before-
Sure.
You have other things going on.
Yeah, this my wonderful piano player John Cobert's brother died, and there's a virtual thing today. Let's see.
So I just
You
want to
want-
introduce you before. Here's
Sure.
Andy Chaikin is coming on, and I wanted to make sure
Hi.
you guys overlap.
Hi, Andy. How are you, man?
Hey,
Uh,
Andy.
His greatest claim to fame is that he and I are classmates from Brown University. No, just kidding. He wrote the epic history of the Apollo space program, which has been in the news again because of this extraordinary documentary that came out. That's so simple.
It's
It's
really
just-
fun to talk to you, Tom, and you'll laugh about this, but you're actually woven into the fabric of my memories of the Apollo missions, because Make-A-Wish was on right during that time, and I used to watch the intro to see you float up.
Fly high. Make a wish. Have a ball. Dream a dream. Be it all if you want it. You can get it. But to get it, you gotta want it. Anything you want to try. Just let go, fly high. And my feet would go up like. This is only for those of us who are old enough to remember this Saturday or Sunday morning TV show. It went for 5 years. It was amazing.
That's
And college
cool.
kids watched it. You know, it was a hip show, which was great.
Wow.
My brother Harry used to say it's a show for 6 to 11-year-old speed freaks, because it was fast. Anyway, that's
Wow.
little. Thanks, Andy. Thanks for remembering that.
Yeah.
We're
So-
dating ourselves.
I know. Yeah.
Well, I made a wish that I could be an astronaut. It didn't work out.
Well,
Damn.
but you got to do this amazing work with them. It's
It's fun.
nice.
No.
It's been fun.
Pretty
The other thing that happened, that reminds me about astronauts, is that our song "This Pretty Planet" was played to wake up the John Glenn and the astronauts. It was one of the songs they played.
Cool.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Very
and
cool.
so went around the world. I could sing that, but it really needs a round. So and my daughter's on here, so I'll look it up. This I thought I'd do a song that story song again that Scott Ainsley brought to me, a story about Julia Ward Howe. Wrote this with Scott and with Chaikin, the three of us, not together, but over a couple of months, we had the pieces together, and then Cy came in and helped me finish it. She wrote the bitter vintage of the grapes of wrath. She coined the lightning's terrible swift sword. Her name was Julia Ward Howe, and the battle hymn she wrote once helped our sons to fight the Civil War. These fighting words that poured out so swiftly from her pen went to the waiting watchfires of Bull Run. From Shiloh to the wilderness to the fields of Gettysburg, in every Union camp her song was sung. But she looked back in sorrow and wished she'd found these words before. May every hymn of battle become a prayer for peace that never sends another soul to war. She had seen too much of killing and the toll that war exacts, and seeking ways to make the carnage cease, Julia called out every woman across this war-torn earth to gather in a Mother's Day for peace. Arise with me, arise, all women who have hearts. Our losses age us far beyond our years. We can no longer justify the cannon's fearsome roar, nor use our nation's flag to dry our tears. But let us look toward tomorrow and work together shore to shore, till every hymn of battle becomes a prayer for peace that never sends another soul to war. For 30 years, brave mothers met together every June. Then Woodrow Wilson named a holiday that turned this great assembly of women against war into a card and candy, chocolate-filled cliche. But if we love our mothers, and of course we do, when we celebrate them every month of May, remember Julia Ward Howe and the dream she dreamed that Mother's Day might make war go away. Mother's Day might make war go away. Mine eyes have seen the glory of what this world can be, when the sacred goal we're striving for transfigures you and me, when the work that women do for peace shall make all people free, as we go marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah, as we go marching on.
That is just spectacular.
Oh, that was great. Oh,
Wow.
wonderful.
You know, we're sitting with all this
You're
election coming up, and all the crazy things this administration has done, and all the problems we're facing, biggest being the environment. But we're in the longest war in our history right now. It goes on and on and on and on and on in this whole military-industrial complex, and it's just one of all these crazy things that we have to address. You know.
Yeah, boy. Well, I'm so grateful you could fit that one in too. You know, just super grateful that you're here, and that also recently you helped to send off the Society of Environmental Journalists.
That was so much fun and very moving. Actually, it was really great to hear the writers and the poets. It was just really, really great.
It's great,
and you as well. Thanks for doing this, man.
It's an honor and privilege to be able to do this. It's great to have you on. Karen, did you want to say something?
I just we're gonna sign off and say hi to folks that are still there. But I wanted to just say something unnerving that I read this morning is that YouTube has now sold Trump all of their advertising space between now and the election. So we might have to boycott YouTube, unfortunately. That's a little disconcerting.
You mean they bought the space or whatever?
They bought the space. Yeah, they bought the space. That was from Move On this morning. So just be aware of that. Yeah. Anyway,
well, it makes me very happy. It's great to see you too.
Thank you. Thanks.
Enjoy the day.
Mwah, mwah.
What a delight. I'm taking you off as well. Thanks, folks. What a delight. We'll see you again.
Got to have you back on sometime when your daughters are around too. That'd be really fun.
Absolutely. It's a little tough on the weekends. They have the little girls, and
of course.
We'll see.
Well, thank you again.
Thanks.
You again.
Bye.
And thanks, Karen and Susan. Fantastic. Well, that was fun. Nice morning, first round. And hello, Claudia Gibson.
Hi.
Welcome
How are you?
Patrick Jones will be here in a little while, and I think Russ and Andy Chaikin again for this round. It's great to have you, old friend, become a renewed friend through this Sustain What enterprise. And
this is great. Thank you so much for thinking of me.
So, and Elliot and Donna on the boat. It's just so great to have that vista here as well. So Andy, you're new to the show, so you get first dibs in this round to talk. By the way, what are you working on these days? Is there another?
Well, so for the last 10 years or so, at the request of NASA, I've been delving into the human behavior elements of success and failure in spaceflight projects, which sounds like a mouthful, but what it really boils down to is the mindset, the attitudes, beliefs, and assumptions that you bring to the work. And as a historian, what I've done is I've gone back to Apollo and I've showed, and I've been teaching this material at NASA, and now I'm writing a companion book. How did we get to the moon in terms of those mindset characteristics? What is the mindset? What are the behaviors that you need to do something as daunting as sending humans to the moon for the first time? So I've been really immersed in that, and trying to play a little music when I can, but I've really been kind of pining for the chance to interact with other musicians. So this is really fun.
Well, here you are. And by the way, we should do another session specifically on that, what you're talking about. Katie Coleman, an astronaut, was on here a month or two ago. I can lure her back during the week. That's a fantastic question. It's a key question of our time.
It is. And the cool thing is, one of the things that I find so fascinating and really inspiring about this is that it applies to any area of human endeavor. I mean, you want to, do anything that is hard, and you can go back to these success principles from Apollo, but also as a cautionary tale. And I'm sure, Andy, you know about this, and maybe many of the people listening in, even in a program as beautifully set up by President Kennedy, get to the moon by the end of the decade, 1960s, and as well funded as Apollo was, they still almost, had to be terminated because of the Apollo fire that killed 3 astronauts on the pad in their spacecraft. So, that boils down to human behavior too. And what I've learned is that the rocket science is hard, but the human behavior stuff is even harder. And if you don't pay attention to your attitudes, beliefs, and assumptions, you're really asking for failure rather than success. Fantastic. And sometimes we succeed in spite of our culture, right? We've seen that. But we've also seen very good projects fail because of these human behavior pitfalls. So that's what I've been working on.
Wow. That's I can't wait to talk more about that with you and learn more about it. But as we'll get back to the music then. So in your songwriting side, what's going on? What did you want to bring to this
Well,
morning?
I've been writing songs for off and on for about 30 something years, and no more actually, more like almost 40. Not that all those songs are worth playing, but I've been paying more attention to them, trying to record them. You know, the wonders of multi-track on the computer, and I have a song that actually dovetails very nicely with what Tom just played because it is sort of an anti-war song. And I wrote it from the point of view of a soldier at the turn of the last century, the turn of the 19th century to the 20th, and it's called Memorial Day. So see what you think of this. Hopefully I won't screw it up. I have seen the news this morning that President McKinley is unable to avoid the coming war. Oh, we are a brave young nation with our eyes turned toward tomorrow, and the future seemed much brighter than before. But I fear I may be called to fight on foreign shores. Told my wife and watched her turn her eyes toward the door. Don't know when I'll see my home again. Will they remember me on Memorial Day? When it's Memorial Day, on Memorial Day, it's Memorial Day, yeah. So I read that Captain Chamberlain will lead the expedition in his long-awaited quest to reach the pole. And the brave ones who go with him, do they know what lies ahead? Men have died amid the ice, never known. But I dream the air is filling up with flying machines, horseless carriages to take me off to sights unseen. Marvels of communication, will we never be alone on Memorial Day? When it's Memorial Day, on Memorial Day, it's Memorial Day, yeah. Time has changed the world in ways I don't begin to understand. Love will blow away like so much dust in my son's outstretched hands. Oh, 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 oh. I remember bells were ringing in the church on Sunday morning, and I bet they rang a time or two for me. I am one forgotten soldier, I'm a man without a country, at the dawning of a brand new century. In the night there will be time to know what we have done, and if we don't, then we'll see it when morning comes. Hoping all will be forgiven, let us bow our heads and pray on Memorial Day. When it's Memorial Day, on Memorial Day, it's Memorial Day, on Memorial Day, it's Memorial Day, yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Nice song. Yeah, we're getting into a vibe here. I might have to pull out my tune Arlington, maybe toward the end of the show. That was spectacular.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. My first public performance. So,
Oh, good. Well,
yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
So, Donna and Elliot out there on the boat, what did you have in mind this morning? And we'll come back on Memorial Day, I'm sure, next year.
Well, my main goal is always to have you on my boat by being here, and you can look out at the harbor. That's always my main goal.
It's
Make you
beautiful.
feel loved
It's a
on the
beautiful
boat.
thing.
Tom mentioned something about being on the road, and Elliot.
We'll dedicate it to all the musicians who wish they could be out on the road
Yeah.
right now and playing. So
Here we go.
you ready?
Yep.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Life I love is making music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again.
Like a band of gypsies, we go down the highway. Best of friends, insisting that the world be turning my way. And away on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Life I love is making music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. Road again. Going places that I've never been. Seeing things that I've never seen. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again.
Like a band of gypsies, we go down the highway.
Where the best of friends.
Insisting that the world be turning our way.
And our way. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Life I love is making
Music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again.
Can't wait to get on the road again.
Of course, for me,
Yeah,
it's more
I can
on
see
the
a
boat
very
again.
simple little adjustment there to the lyrics. And you are on the boat again. Oh, man. Great sound, great view there. It is a little chilly, I guess, down there on the waterfront this morning.
It's
It's
warming up.
I was cold at
Oh.
6 o'clock this morning. Kind of like being on pumpkin
couple,
sales.
yep.
Did you ever do pumpkin sale, Andy?
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of like being on
Yeah,
that.
and
You
boy,
were on the
there was some
Clearwater, though,
snow.
right?
And I remember a snowy one in Beacon 4 years or so ago.
I did part of a pumpkin sale on the Sojourner Truth with
Actually,
Rick.
I'm bringing.
Talk about cold. We woke up and his
Wow,
watch
I'm
had
bringing in
frozen.
Patrick Jones because I remember, Patrick, you and I were with some others were performing on that little knoll in Beacon with snow flurries blowing in our face.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remembered that I was trying to solo and noticed the snowflakes hitting my fingers, looking at you.
Yeah.
But happy to be cold and sharing the time.
Yeah, exactly. So, Claudia, how are things in Wimberley? There's fires up in Colorado now. The fire season is shifting gears. My friends around Boulder and Niwot were posting pretty horrific videos, and the smoke. And what's the sort of temperature in Texas right now in terms of the politics and everything else?
It's beautiful. Well, the weather itself is beautiful. It's the nicest
Good.
time of year in the Texas Hill Country. It's in the 70s. It's lovely, beautiful. Our version of fall is like this little hint of yellow. That's about it. And politics, everyone's voting. You know, there's a big.
All right, I
lot of people
retweeted your
voting.
tweet of your little
you know,
voting
I'm out-
symbol yesterday. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and I noticed, I don't spend as much time on Facebook lately, more on Twitter and Instagram, but Yeah, I put a similar thing on Facebook, and of course,
Oh,
someone
geez.
started commenting stuff, and I was like,
Yeah,
"This is
right.
not- just vote.
Bingo.
Let's get into a
Just
debate
vote.
somewhere else." So, yeah. But everyone's really seems to be very motivated. I know, like, I work up in Austin and Travis County, and they've got big, huge registration. And the lines just on the first day of voting out here in Texas were crazy. So everyone's very
Good.
motivated to vote. So
You sure
that's
do.
good because we need a big
So
turnout.
what's on your
So-
musical mind and soul this morning?
Well, I was just so thrilled that you had Tom Chapin because he was a big part of when my kids were growing up, in the late '90s and early '00s. That song "Family Tree," that my kids just loved that song of his, and it was a great song. And so anyway, I was thinking about family, and I think I'll do. I was going to play an older song, but I got to turn up my monitors in my ears. But I think I'll play a newer song. So it's kind of a I don't know, looking back a little bit, but just where we are at the moment. It's just a little ditty I wrote recently because I had the Southwest Regional Folk Alliance has a conference every year in October, and this year it was virtual. And part of what they do is you get a little prompt at the beginning on a slip of paper, and on the last day of the conference, everyone gets up at breakfast and plays theirs. And they can range from really good to, sometimes it's like the prompt and then la 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 la. But
Do you remember what the prompt was?
oh yeah, this one was a time someone took care of you was the prompt. I'm like, okay, that's pretty wide open. So anyway, I wrote this ditty. I have to have the words here because I wrote it and then kind of just didn't think about it too much. So if my eyes are going all over the place, I'm not the Jets football coach. I'm just looking at the words. Disclaimer.
That's cool.
Think back, you were a kid. Life then was simple. You did what you did. A car seat, a view of the road, eyes out the window, miles to and fro. A time someone took care of you. Your world unlocked and bright, bright eyes, everything there for you, safe and in your sight, safe and in your sight. Look now, since you've been grown, the world feels so different, much less your own. Days fly, heralding change, to bend but not break is our biggest day. The times when someone took care of you, that world is far behind. Dear heart, love is still there for you, here and in your sight, here and in your sight. Sometimes someone takes care of you when you're lost and tired. Dear hearts, love is still there for you, standing at your side, standing at your side.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And I'm going to do one of our Monday sessions, which are on skill building, like how to be effective online. And I'm going to do one on prompts and songs, and as a way for any writer to overcome mental hurdles to getting something going.
Yeah, there's a lot of tricks, and that's just a prompt can be a really good one, especially if you get it from someone else, and sometimes just finding your way in can be, like, oh, okay, I wouldn't have thought of this. Sometimes it's a terrible one and you just go, okay.
Yeah.
But, that one I kind of found a way. I knew I could do something with it. So, and whether, like one of my best songs was a prompt song, and some of my worst songs were prompt songs. But
yeah, but you've also said on here you have to be willing to write bad songs in order to get great ones.
You do, because they're not all going to be great. So if like 2 out of 10 are good, then you just write more, and then you'll have more better songs. So.
Right. So Andy, Chaikin, do you have another tune you wanted to throw in the mix here into the pot? And here's David Ross has come aboard here. We have our final half hour or so, folks. Also on the. How are you doing there, David?
I'm doing really well. Have had a busy morning though. My brother from California is coming to visit, and we're all nervous about what it means to have a visit. Isn't that weird?
It is.
Like I haven't seen him in a year, and I have to worry about whether or not I can get close to him.
I know, it's weird. We finally yesterday, for the first time since March, we visited my father, who just is celebrating his 93rd birthday on Monday. And it was the first time we were able to go to his apartment in his retirement complex. Very strict protocols, and we sat outside with him once a few weeks ago. This is the first time we actually could bring in some Thai food and have a birthday cake. And it was just three of us. There was a limit, and it was spectacular, but it was also surreal because what's so normal is now so abnormal.
Yeah.
So back to you, Andy. What do you want to offer?
Well, so I'll see if I can pull this off. It's not that, it's not that complex. It's just getting my fingers to work on a Sunday morning. This is a song that doesn't really have a title. It's sort of a prayer, so I may just call it Prayer. Take me into your circle. Take me into your circle, that I may not be left unknown. No, take me into your circle. Make your light to shine on me. Make your light to shine on me. 'Cause there is darkness at my heels. Oh, make your light to shine on me. Lead me not to temptation. Lead me not to temptation. 'Cause I have not the strength to resist. Oh, lead me not to temptation. Make me a boat on the ocean. Make me a boat on the ocean. And blow your wind where I must go. Make me a boat on the ocean. Lift me up to your heaven. Lift me up to your heaven. When I must leave this earth someday, oh, lift me up to your heaven. Take me into your circle. Take me into your circle, that I may not be left unknown. Oh, take me in to your circle.
Well, you're in the circle. You're welcome back any Sunday. You know, this is great. Great to have you part of the this little song and story swap. It's just a way to stay sane, stay connected, and help connect others through music. You know, I've been trying to tweet that everyone out there, the doom scrolling and the talking head duels that we get distracted by, miss the simple value of connectedness through conversation. And
So many great new terms, though. Doom scrolling. Who would have ever thought there'd be a term like doom scrolling?
I
And, you
know.
language grows in crisis like this. You know.
Yeah, and we all know what that is. That's what's weird too. It's like perfect.
Yeah.
So
Children know, even. You know.
So we're running a few minutes late. I'd love to get one more in from Donna on the boat with Elliot and from Claudia before we head toward closing things out. We can go a little long if it's okay for folks, for Patrick and David and the like. So what else is coming there from the water down in Mamaroneck and on Long Island Sound?
I was going to do something kind of sweet and mentioning cold weather and Canada, because friends of ours in Canada can't come here and we can't go there. But then I went, let's shake it up.
Oh, Donna, you're going to shake it up?
Take me to the islands where the trade winds blow. Take me to the islands where they got no ice or snow. That's your part. Take me to the islands, I'm in G, where the trade winds blow. Take me to the islands where they got no ice or snow. The temperature is dropping, leaves they fall from the trees. I should be down on some sandy beach, soaking up tropical breeze. Take me to the islands where the trade winds blow. Take me to the islands where they got no ice or snow. Off Bermuda, St. Thomas, off of Martinique. That's where I can practice my brand new winter sailing technique. So please take me to the island where the trade winds blow. Take me to the islands where they got no ice. This is true this morning. My hands are cold, my feet are froze, my teeth tender in my bed. I'm getting tired of sleeping with 16 blankets on my bed. To our electric, take me to the island where the trade winds blow. Take me to the islands where they got no ice or snow. It's not that I don't like where I live. New York is my home, you know. It's just that it's so uncomfortable with wind chill factors at 14 below. Please just take me to the island where the trade winds blow. Take me to the islands where they got no ice or snow. The packet rats and the boat bums, they all know where to go. It's down to the sunny island where that good ganja grows. Take me to the island where the trade winds blow. Take me to the island where they got no ice or snow. One last time, take me to the island where the trade winds blow. Take me to the islands where they got no ice or snow. Whee! Yeah, that's the way to butcher a Rick Nessler song.
Can't hear you, Andy.
I was
There you are.
muting so I wouldn't accidentally do what I accidentally did to Claudia Gibson.
It's
a few minutes
okay.
ago.
I forgive you. It was just
Yeah.
That was fun to sing along with that one. I like singing
Yeah.
the chorus with that.
Claudia, it sounds like your setup there has gotten even more sophisticated. I think I'm hearing you in stereo if I'm not.
Well, my mic is
mistaken.
stereo, and I have
Yeah.
I have stereo set up here and on the mic, on the Yeti
Great.
mic, and then now they have a stereo option on StreamYard, which was kind of, I was doing a StreamYard thing, and I gave instructions to the people who were doing it because I was producing it. Check this box, and then like right before we went on, the boxes suddenly became different in StreamYard. So I was like, oh well, okay, let's see what this means.
Yeah, they keep evolving. They now have cancel echo, which I think is great. And
Well, actually, that's only for like talking people. It doesn't work well for singing people. Yeah. So anyway,
well, here's singing person. Do you have another tune to throw in before?
I
this baby
do.
winds on?
And thinking of Tom Chapin and my kids being young, I thought I would do a song that it's like the only song from back then that I still play, that I started writing it when my daughter was young and colicky, and she's 27 now, so it's she's not colicky anymore. Oh, Joseph, how wonderful. Joseph Pupe, great. I wish he was on here.
I know, it's been great getting to know him from a distance in Zambia.
Okay, well, I'm going to play this tune, and you'll just have to refrain from playing along, Andy. Yeah. With your mic on anyway. So anyway, this one's called Terms of the Bargain, and I actually ended up recording it on my first CD about 4 years ago.
Lay down, my darling, daytime is over. Time to close sweet sleepy eyes. Search for your answers while you are dreaming. I've got my own questions. Why do we hurt those we love? Why is it never enough? Why do we seldom reach up for the sky? Why do we pine for love past instead of making love last? And will it all be revealed by and by, by and by? When I was younger, I was much wilder, and all that I needed, I knew. And now the years spin by, leaving me questions. The answers are distant and few. Why are we born out of pain? Why do we curse at the rain if we can laugh? Why do we cry? Why do we pine for the past instead of making love last? And will it all be revealed by and by, by and by? Starry-eyed children, they long to be grown up. Old folks reach back for their youth. The cost of life's wisdom, the terms of the bargain, cannot be changed or refused.
And I'm laughing because I'm remembering what I heard Slade Cleave say once, which is when you don't play the old songs and you start paying attention to the new ones all the time, the old ones come back and get you. So like the first verse, I sang the second verse on the first, and all of a sudden I'm going, oh yeah. Because,
They get you, but they get you in another way. That was a very powerful song.
thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that Stay Puft Marshmallow Man like in Ghostbusters just comes in, that little stray thought.
No, it's like, but it's make new friends and keep the old. It's make new songs and keep the old too.
Yeah, well, I saw it like I was watching Tom Chapin listening before, and then I saw it like he had the same thing. He was playing an older song, and I was like, oh, okay.
Boy, I can't wait to replay that auto harp tune because it was so sonorous. I mean,
That's lovely. Yeah,
I've heard
usually
auto
just
harp, but
people
that was
banging away, but he had a lovely sound. Yeah.
fantastic. What a great morning we're having here.
Yeah, thank
David
you. Thanks
Ross.
for having me.
Donna, are you waving that you got to go?
She's doing a peace out.
Let's see.
No, I wanted to say something. If you're interested in beautiful auto harps, our friend Pete Daigle, D''Aigle, in SeaTac in Washington, has a shop, and he makes wonderful auto harps.
That's great. And if he
Amazing.
plays too, make sure he comes on the show sometime.
Oh, we know a lot of auto harp. Rick plays auto
I know.
harp, which is like bizarre to me, but we won't discuss that now. Bye.
Yeah. So here we have Patrick Jones back too. The final cohort is here, and anyone can hang in here for a little longer. There's no reason no one gets booted now that we have plenty of room on these StreamYard channels here. So David Ross, what did you have in mind musically?
Well, I'm going to sing a song that I've been thinking about this week, thinking about the way union workers have, slowly coming back to the Democratic Party and the Democratic fold, and thinking about what that means to the future of our democracy. And it's a Dylan song. It's called "Working Man Blues."
Great.
There's an evening breeze sailing over town, starlight by the edge of the creek. The buying power of the proletariat's gone down, money's getting shallow and weak. Well, the place I love best is a sweet memory. It's a new path that we trod. They say low wages are reality if we want to compete abroad. My cruel weapons have been put on the shelf. Come and sit down on my knee. You're dearer to me than myself, as you yourself can see. Oh, while I'm listening to the steel rails hum, got both eyes tight shut. Just sitting here trying to keep the hunger from creeping its way to my gut. Well, meet me at the bottom, don't lag behind. Bring me my boots and shoes. You can hang back or fight your best on the front line, but sing a little bit of these working man blues. Well, I'm sailing on back, ready for the long haul, tossed by the winds and the seas. I drag them down to hell and I stand them at the wall and I'll sell them to their enemies. I'm trying to feed my soul with thought and gonna sleep off the rest of the day. Sometimes no one wants what you got, sometimes you can't give it away. Now the place is ringed with countless foes, some of them may be deaf and dumb. No man, no woman knows the hour that sorrow will come. Well, in the dark I hear night birds call, I can feel my lover's breath. I sleep in the kitchen with my feet in the hall. Sleep is like a temperate death. Well, meet me at the bottom, don't lag behind. Bring me my boots and shoes. You can hang back or fight your best on the front line, but sing a little bit of these working man blues. Well, they burned my barn and they stole my horse. I can't save a dime. Gotta be careful, I don't want to be forced into a life of continual crime. Well, I can see for myself that the sun is sinking. How I wish you were here to see. Tell me now, am I wrong in thinking that you have forgotten me? Now they worry and they hurry and they fuss and they fret. They waste your nights and days. Well, them I will forget, but you I'll remember always. Oh, memories of you to me have clung. You wounded me with your words. Gonna have to straighten out your tongue. It's all true, everything you heard. Well, meet me at the bottom, don't lag behind. Bring me my boots and shoes. You can hang back or fight your best on the front line, but sing a little bit of these working man blues. In you, my friend, I find no blame. Wanna look in my eyes, please do. No one can ever claim that I took up arms against you. All across these peaceful, sacred fields, they will lay you low. They'll break your horns and they'll slash you with steel. I say it so, it must be so. Now I'm down on my luck, I'm black and blue. Gonna give you another chance. I'm all alone and I'm expecting you to lead me off in a cheerful dance. I got a brand new suit and a brand new wife. I can live on rice and beans. Some people never worked a day in their life, don't know what work even means. Well, meet me at the bottom, don't lag behind. Bring me my boots and shoes. You can hang back or fight your best on the front line, but sing a little bit of these working man blues.
So well chosen.
Thank you.
Such an apt song. Unfortunately, time doesn't matter for
Some
these.
people never
these
work a
important
day in
songs
their
like that
life,
one.
don't know what work even means.
No,
line.
just fantastic. Hey, Patrick Jones, how are you doing? Oh, you're muted. Maybe did I mute you? Hold on. I got you. You're good. You're good. Don't touch.
Okay, great. Hey, everybody. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I still fighting my little toothache and some things, but so uplifted by this show and the people on it. I'll
Including
tell you a quick
yourself. Thank you for
Tom
being here.
Chapin story. Was well, thank you. Yeah, I was hired as a house painter in Piermont, and if you know Piermont, it's right on the Hudson River. And so the houses are kind of raised up off of the river. And I was actually painting a dormer way up high, leaning over, trying to scrape the paint off the windows. And I hear this voice from going like, you better watch out. You got to be careful up there. You should get a rope or something. I looked down and it was Tom Chapin walking down, doing his walk or something.
That's so funny.
And that's the type of guy he is. And just
That's the sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's on your musical mind this morning?
Well, after hearing all these stories, let me see if I can do this. I don't know if this will come in.
Yeah.
But you can see that. Yeah. So this is a kind of a true story about that person, that woman there, that we're going through the time like her. And she was the daughter of some horse breeders in eastern Kentucky in Morgan County. And while some soldiers came in during the Civil War, it was 1863, and the people that were working for her parents hid her underneath their beds. Unfortunately, her younger brother ran to the house and was killed by these soldiers or marauders. Well, anyway, she was hidden, and after that, she made her way out to Little Rock, Arkansas. And that was my great grandmother, Sally Jordan, that woman
Wow.
right there. I think she was taken by some Cherokee folks and made their way out there. So we're still fighting that same war in a way, and been very, very touched by everything. So I'm going to sing from the viewpoint of a young Kentuckian who's in love with Sally Jordan, because she could tell she was quite good looking.
And I wish I could play mandolin along with you, but I'll just not do.
I'm going to do it a little slower and
Go for it.
If I had some land, I'd marry Sally Jordan, have me some children, and lose the lonesome road. Life would be so fair, troubles soon forgotten, happy with a furrow and a heart of gold. I see her in my mind and it makes me smile. Her eyes are talking to me while she's singing in the choir. Sunday after supper she would hold my hand, walking by the river deep in love and making plans. Well, Pastor Jenkins called for a meeting in the parlor. Trouble was a-comin', said, boys, we gotta go. Ain't no strangers coming and a-walking through this holler, lest they want a barrel full of toll, yes, so. Well, Frankie, Case, and Jamie, boy, they laid right down. Pinecone Me and Willie running held the higher ground. Sitting on them horses in those blues, goddamn. Had my Bible by me, boys, I took it like a man. Well, who is left to cry for the sons of Sally Jordan? Family to some the rebel horde. If there is a God, I'd gladly ask a pardon for every man who laid a bullet on their souls. 'Cause men will go to war with a righteous fire, leave their mamas crying for their bodies in the mire. Mama, I'ma make it home if I can. She'll be waiting by the door, flowers in her hand. Yes, I'll marry Sally Jordan and get some bottom land.
Yeehaw!
Thank
I like the slow version. It's nice.
Oh,
For those who haven't heard this before, Patrick's part of our Breakneck Ridge review, and we usually do that as kind of a rousing Zydeco-driven kind of tune. But that's really sweet.
no,
Very
thank
nice.
you. Thank you.
Can't wait till we can sing that together again, my friend.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
you
me
know,
too. I miss you guys so much.
we're right around the block. We'll
You know-
be there for.
I want to say my playing is, I didn't realize how much I relied on playing with everybody to keep my own playing up, because I've been like kind of isolated. But I love the show, and thank you guys for showing and giving of yourselves. It's so beautiful.
It's so funny down there on the waterfront in Mamaroneck. It looks like the sun is heating up because I see someone. Elliot took off his sweatshirt, and and we're all heating up here. The day is waning. It's almost noontime, but let's
We have
whoever.
to look at Elliot's shirt.
What's it say?
Yeah.
I can't quite see it. Here, I'll maximize your screen. Hold on a second so we can see it bigger. Hold on. Here we
It
go.
doesn't say much, but it says something.
86,
Oh yeah, 8645 2020. Indeed.
Whoa, really?
What's this say? Wait, tell me. What we're-
8645 2020. Indeed. Let's do it.
Yeah,
We do that on 11/3.
yeah.
I haven't had enough coffee yet. I'm missing the
86. That's restaurant term for getting rid of someone.
Yeah.
45. That's the
86,
number for
yeah.
our cousin, the current jerk in the White House, and 2020.
I missed- that's
Yeah, that's right.
there you go.
Those are
Which is-
important numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Yes.
and
I gotta head
86
out.
is actually a nautical
Hey,
term.
Claudia, it was great to have you on. I'm going to
you.
do a
Yes,
show.
Claudia.
I promise.
Yeah,
Beautiful
let me know.
song. Have a beautiful day.
You too.
Stay
I've got a good closing song for us, Andy.
You take care, Claudia. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Claudia.
Bye.
I'm going to throw one into the mix. Just it's
Oh,
what I've
good.
done before because
Yeah.
and it's pretty simple and quick. Some people have probably heard this. Well, Fluky doesn't even begin to describe the way life feels these days. Crisis a minute has become the norm. Worries just won't go away. Bills are piled high, windows are barred. Tread on my tires worn thin. Got such an assortment of problems, I don't know where to begin. So I take my old dog for a 7-mile walk, stare at the clouds and the sky, sit on a rock on the top of a hill and just simply wonder why. Why am I here? Where am I headed? Is there an end to these woes? Then the sun peeks out and a rainbow appears and my dog licks me on my nose. That's when I realize things aren't half as bad as they seem to be. I got 2 good legs, it's a beautiful day, and at least my dog loves me. I've decided to take it all a day at a time. Made myself a little O's. I'm gonna start each day with a prayer and end each day with a toast. Gonna start each day with a prayer and end each day with a toast. I get back to my house, pay one of my bills, make a new resume. Call an old friend I haven't seen for years. He said I'd made his day. He's behind on his rent, his roof had a leak. He's fighting with his wife. I said, it sounds like you could use a little dose of my new approach to life. You see, I realize things ain't half as bad as they seem to be. I got 2 good legs, it's a beautiful day, and I know my dog loves me. I've decided to take it all a day at a time. Made myself a little O's. I'm gonna start each day with a prayer and end each day with a toast. There you go.
There's another one that we need to be able to all sing together again.
Yeah, I sang that. I wrote that during the Great Recession, but it's kind of unfortunately again circled back to being meaningful today. And let's just the first thing you can do is vote. The next thing you do is help a friend. The next thing you could do is contribute to a campaign of someone you really care about, even if they're in a district you're not in, and hope and act. So, David, did I hear you say you have?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. I thought we'd end. I would end with that Tom Waits song, "Last Leaf on the Tree."
Yes,
That's a great one, Dave.
I'm the last leaf on the tree. The autumn took the rest, but they won't take me. I'm the last leaf on the tree. When the autumn wind blows, they're already gone. They flutter to the ground, 'cause they can't hold on. Well, there's nothing in this world that I ain't seen. I greet all the new ones that are coming in green, 'cause I'm the last leaf on the tree. The autumn took the rest, oh, but they won't take me. I'm the last leaf on the tree. They say I got staying power here on the tree, but I've been here since Eisenhower, and I outlived even he. The last leaf on the tree. The autumn took the rest, but they won't take me. I'm the last leaf on the tree. I fight off the snow, I fight off the hail. Nothing makes me go, I'm like some vestigial tale. I'll be here through all eternity, if you want to know how long. If they cut down this tree, I'll come back in a song. 'Cause I'm the last leaf on the tree. The autumn took the rest, but they won't take me. I'm the last leaf on the tree. Yes, I'm the last leaf on the tree. Well, I'm the last leaf on the tree.
Some strange little surge there. We all kind of paused for a second. Just as you were ending that song, everything kind of paused.
Oh,
But
really?
we're here. No,
How
it was
is it?
it was the last. You fit in the last leaf on that song.
Yeah.
That was weird. Like a power. Yeah, maybe someone was happy about political comments or something. The internet was watching. Well, what a
Right.
great day this has been. Whether you're down there on the waterfront, up in Andy, where are you again? Vermont, right? Yeah, right. Southern Vermont.
Yeah,
Oh, what
You said
town?
New York.
Vermont. We're halfway between. We're in Arlington, halfway between
Cool.
Manchester and Bennington.
As we end up, I might play this
Yep.
tune Arlington as just as a going away thing, but this has just been a fantastic day. Tom Chapin, the others who joined us earlier, and here the last holdouts. So if there's a last song, Andy, I don't know if you had one more tune you might be able to share. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I think I've
Well,
done
this
what I
is
can
great,
do for
all.
the day. I have.
I'm just
more,
going to
but
show
wait.
from the gallery here. Let's see, tomorrow. So tomorrow we go back to like my work week stuff, which includes on Mondays sessions on how to communicate effectively online. And tomorrow is the opening of the Lamont Doherty Earth Observatory open house is all this coming week. And
Yes.
of course, this year is virtual. And we're going to have 3 or 4 of our great communicative scientists on to talk about how they connect with audiences. Angelica Patterson is a botanist who collects leaves from up in the high parts of the canopy using a shotgun. She's also one of the leaders of the Black in Botany movement. She's an African-American, Black American botanist, which is a rarity, unfortunately. I'm trying to build understanding in the community about how we fill that gap. So we have a scientific community that represents all of America. And there's many more people coming on. Thanks to my crew here today. This is what we call Sustain What. It's a global online conversation identifying solutions to the complicated, shape-shifting, and epic challenges of humanity's great acceleration. That's the last half century or so. And now, of course, the virus has imposed upon us a great pause. And every week, there's several times a week, I have different kinds of sessions here. A prime focus is making sense of and getting the most out of the planet's fast-forward information environment. It's the one Earth system changing faster than the actual environment. It's allowing us to do amazing things like connecting musicians from a distance, as we're doing now, but it's also dividing us and polarizing us, confusing us. There are people using it actively to distract us and confuse us. So there's a lot of work to be done. This is part of my work building Columbia University's new Earth Institute initiative on communication and sustainability. As soon as we're done, share the link you've been watching on with others far and wide, and get in touch with ideas. See the scrolling info bar at the bottom of the screen, which can be kind of distracting, but it also helps you find me going forward. And thanks today to these wonderful performers who've joined us today. Good friends all, and stay safe from a distance. David, enjoyed meeting up with your brother again. And deep love and affection all around.
Say hi to Lisa for me.
I will. And let's get Rick back on the show too.
Yeah.
We'll do
Yeah.
that.
How's Rick doing?
All right. So we're gonna sign off here. We could chat for another minute or two, but thanks again, everybody. And for those, of course, who tuned in, please share this with friends, and we're happy to get in touch for future shows.